Weather's not too bad today. Blue skies, a little bit of cloud, but it is only April, I guess. First one of a couple, I think, today. What I want to talk about this morning is how people change. This video is going to be titled Sensible Common Sense Channels 2 as an addendum to the video that I made quite a while back now, about a couple of weeks I think, where I talked about there are a number of very common sense channels on YouTube that I watch, and I didn't name them at the time. The purpose of the addendum to that video, I guess, is talking about how people change and how they can change apparently very quickly. Now the person I'm referring to, although I do still like his channel very much and I do still subscribe to it, but I'm seeing changes in this person, and I have referred to this person's attitudes in recent videos, and the channel I'm talking about is Simon Crane. Now Simon seems to be going down the route of becoming an apprentice watch snob. He's this morning basically said that all quartz watches are for people who don't really care about watches, who just want to slap something on their wrist that will tell them the time of day. Now, you know my opinion on watches in general, and quartz watches fall quite nicely into what a watch can be, and a quartz movement is just another variation on a movement, as are hand winding mechanical, as are automatics, as are the Value range, as are tourbillons, and so on and so forth. It is just watch snobbery that people want to either put down or keep down quartz movements. So moving away from that and moving more towards Simon himself, a few videos ago I mentioned that Simon seemed to be falling into the same camp as Archie by saying that if the payment of a watch didn't cause you some kind of physical pain, then it wasn't worth doing. And Simon, over the last few weeks, seems to be going down a very dangerous route of following that logic, and also becoming a bit of a watch snob and a watch bore. I mean, he's now talking about wanting to move on to horology. Now, horology, well, I don't like the phrase horology, as you know. Horology is the study of time. It's got nothing to do with the manufacturing of timepieces as such. And haute, the word haute is, obviously we will all know that it's attached to haute couture, which we see at London Fashion Week in Milan, and also Paris. And you'll see designers turning out outfits and their gorgeous models strolling down the catwalk, and you will always hear that phrase, well, you'll never see anybody wearing that down the high street. Well, that's very true. Because the nature of haute is, if you look at the translation, it appertains to art, the creation of art. And the case of you not seeing anybody down the high street is absolutely right, because haute couture just indicates the capabilities of the designer. That's all it does. It's showing that he or she is pushing the boundaries of clothes design. Now, in working on that logic, if the word haute was to be attached to timepieces and watchmaking, then you would never see the watch. You may well see the watch at places like Baselworld, but you would never be able to walk into your local boutique or watch seller or whatever and buy it, because it was made to exhibit, to show how good Patek were, or IWCR, or Rolex R or whoever, but you would never ever be able to buy it. So why would you want to push yourself to move towards halterology? Because it is something like, or something akin to giving yourself the ambition of finding the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and we all know that a rainbow is fully circular, it's not semicircular. Even if the pot of gold wasn't a myth, you could never find it, because the rainbow goes all the way around the planet. So it is an ambition, it's an aim to move towards that, with the greatest of respect to Simon, he's never going to achieve, because it's something which is created by someone to show what they can do. It's never meant to be put on the market, and the same could be said for concept cars. You see concept cars at the Geneva Motor Show and London Motor Show or the NEC, which are these outlandishly beautiful, technically advanced vehicles, but you'll never see one, because all it is demonstrating what they're able to do. Now, parts of the technology, whether it be in cars or watches, or parts of the fashion, if it's clothing, will trickle down. You will see nods to those in shops and things like that, but you will never see the absolute thing, because the absolute thing outside that catwalk or exhibition doesn't actually exist, and it will never exist. So saying that you're moving towards halterology is a nonsense statement. So I'm a little bit concerned about where Simon is going. He obviously still wants to obtain his reverso, and that's fine. Is that halterology? No, it's not. It's very high artisanship of watch manufacture, but it's not halterology. And he's kind of barking up the wrong tree there. But I'm seeing over time that he's saying things that seem to be indicating that he's moving away from common sense. He is now moving himself at quite a pace away from quartz movements. He's made it clear that, I think he did use the phrase this morning, that they are dog shit. I own a number of quartz. I'm delighted with my quartz movements. They are far more accurate than any mechanical stroke automatic movement. The Bulliver that I did the review on a couple of videos ago is fantastic, even complete with the sweeping second hand. So I'm not too sure where Simon is in his head right now. Is he going to leave my little band of common sense channels? Possibly. If you've watched YouTube, you're obviously aware that there used to be, I don't think there is anymore, the M7, the Magnificent 7 of watch experts, which included Andy and Matt and Don Haynes and so on and so forth, and that kind of disappeared with the rat, whoever that was, and he shall remain nameless, although I do know who it is. And Simon, my little band of merry men, who I would recommend for viewing of, for information, unbiased information, information where they will say that never go out and spend money on a watch that you can't afford. Make sure that your bills are paid, make sure your rent or your mortgage is paid, make sure that your kids have shoes, make sure there's food on the table before any wristwatch is bought. I'm not saying that Simon is moving away from that. What I'm actually saying is he's moving away from people like me, people who don't want to appear as a watch snob, who will tell you to take a second mortgage out or max out your credit card. It's a bad thing to do. I hope Simon reverts to where he was. I really do. I do enjoy watching his videos, but if he carries on with the movement towards watch snobbery, it's something that I think potentially will put people off. We're all aware that Archie is by far the biggest snob in our little band of channels, but we also know that Archie is a character. And Paul may well be a little bit like that, Paul Pluter, who knows? But Archie is Paul turned up to 11, if you're a fan of Spinal Tap. So I hope Simon changes. He's changing for the worse in my view right now, and it just goes to show how people can change very quickly if they're suckered into the snobbery of the watch world and the snobbery of any other world that you get involved in by means of an interest. So I guess that's it for this little rant. I hope Simon gets to see this. It does upset me that he's changing a little bit. Stay kind of true to yourself and stay true to what you believe, and it seems to me that his belief is changing. One little thing extra for this one: come closer. I have today bought an Omega 300 Seamaster blue bezel. Oh yes, after all this time, I've saved me pennies. I now can afford it. I've spoken to the seller. We had a nice chat on the phone. He's made me very jealous. He's bought himself an Omega Planet Ocean orange bezel. Naughty, naughty man. And he has now been paid, and he's now currently packing up my Seamaster, which hopefully I shall get by Wednesday or Thursday by Her Majesty's Royal Mail. And as soon as I get it, I will show you what my latest acquisition is. I am champing at the bit for it to arrive. Thank you very much indeed for watching this rubbish. I shall speak to you very, very soon. Any questions? Down below. Any comments? Down below. If you want to lambast me about anything, down below. I shall look forward to hearing from you. Excuse me. If Simon's watching this and Simon wants to drop me a line, he has got my email address because we have spoken previously. Simon, down below, or make a video, even better. Other than that, I shall speak to you again soon. Some more rubbish to come later today. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.